Hey there, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the fourth installment of 7-minute grammar notes. We have taken up the subject verb agreement category of errors, and this is the second error that we'll be discussing here, which is the proximity rule. Okay, so let's start. So in yesterday's session, guys, we considered how when two subjects are joined by the conjunction and, then you have to use the plural form of the verb, है ना? The reason being that let's say if you say when you say S1 and S2, you are actually considering both of these at once. आप दोनों को साथ में consider कर रहे हैं, वो sense आ रहा है ना? S1 and S2. So and hence it makes sense कि okay, that means we don't just have one subject here, you at least have more than one subject here. So kind of a plural subject, and hence you use the plural form of the verb. Okay. Well, what if this and is replaced by or? In that case, the sense that you get when you read S1 or S2, then it basically seems to imply that only one of them are being considered at a time, right? So या फिर कोई एक ही subject आपका consider हो रहा है यहाँ पे. Well, then the question arises that the verb should the verb take the form of S2 or should it take the form of S1, right? ये सवाल उठता है यहाँ पे. Uh, well, it can be very easily resolved by the proximity rule. Proximity का मतलब होता है that which is more near to it, जो कि ज़्यादा पास में है ना? So what the verb does is it simply takes the form of the subject which is more proximal to it. In this case, like as you can see, S2 is more proximal to the verb, right? So the verb will take the form of S2. Let's say S2 is plural in nature, the verb will take a plural form. If S2 is singular in nature, the verb will take a singular form. Okay, so as simple as that. Let's look at a few examples. The first sentence, it says either Elaine or her friends is or are going to win the dance competition. The first subject is Elaine, the second subject is her friends. Which one is more proximal to the verb? Well, her friends, the second subject, right? Which is plural in nature, so the verb should also take the plural form. The correct word here will be are and not is. So either Elaine or her friends are going to win the dance competition. Another example, neither her friends nor her brother has or have plans to go to her wedding. Her friends is the first subject, her brother is the second subject. The second subject is more proximal, right? And the more proximal subject is singular in nature. आपका proximal वाला subject singular है, so obviously you have to take the verb has to take the form of the has to take a singular form, which means has, not have. So the correct expression here would be neither her friends nor her brother has plans to go to her wedding. There are other expressions which help join multiple subjects together, like or तो हमने देख ही लिया, right? The coordinating conjunction or S1 or S2. Then you have either S1 or S2. Then you have neither S1 nor S2. Not only S1 but also S2, right? These will be cases of correlating conjunctions. ये conjunctions किस type के हैं, क्या है, वो हम लोग आने वाले episodes में देखेंगे. Okay, so I hope this rule is clear. Let's look at some examples. Okay, so let's look at a few solved cases. You can also try these by yourself by pausing the video and then figuring out which of these verb forms should be used in these expressions. Okay. Anyhow, I'm going to start. The first sentence: neither his friends nor his sisters like or likes to talk to him anymore. The first subject is plural. Second is also plural. So and the second subject also happens to be more proximal to the verb. So you want to go with the plural verb form, right? Because the plural subject is more proximal. So the verb form is like and not likes. Like will be the correct verb form here. You might wonder that what difference does it make, because proximity make in this case, because both of them happen to be plural. Yes, I do get your point and it is logical, but I'll talk about that in a bit. Let me complete these sentences first. Okay, so the correct form of this expression would be neither his friends nor his sisters like to talk to him anymore. Next one, not only Watson but also his colleagues was or were dazed by Holmes' methods. The first subject is singular, second is plural, and the plural subject is more proximal, so you want your verb form to be plural in nature as opposed to was. So the sentence becomes not only Watson but also his colleagues were dazed by Holmes' methods. Next one, either the ministers or the governor is or are likely to be asked to visit the memorial. Okay, please excuse that. To visit the memorial. So now in this case, the first one happens to be plural, the second subject happens to be singular. So the singular subject is more proximal, so you want the verb to take the singular form, not the plural form. So the correct expression becomes either the ministers or the governor is going to be asked to visit the memorial. Okay. Next, either Shifu or Oogway is or are going to have to train the dragon warrior. Both of them are singular subjects. And the singular subject also happens to be more proximal to the verb, right? The second singular subject. So the verb should take the singular form, not the plural form. Either Shifu or Oogway is going to have to train the dragon warrior. Now coming to the earlier initial doubt that obviously when, especially for cases where both of them are plural or both of them are singular, the proximity doesn't really do anything, right? Because well, even if you don't take the subject which is proximal, you're still going to use uh, the same verb form, right? And I do understand the logic there, guys. But see, the thing is, you want to have or remember rules which are simple in nature. Okay, like now you can't have a differentiated rule where you say that only if the two subjects are of different forms, then you go for the proximal one. If they are of the same form, then you go for any one, right? Yes, that's fair. That's correct, in fact. But the thing is, then that becomes very complicated to remember. You see, you rather want to keep things simple for you. Just proximity. Just go for the subject, which is go with the verb form of the form of the subject, which is more proximal, right? That's the reason we'll simply stick with proximity. We do understand this logic, how it is kind of redundant here, right? वो हम लोग समझ रहे हैं. ठीक है. So that's about the solved cases. And now a question to try by yourself. Neither Joey nor his sisters has much information about the stock market. Do you think this sentence is grammatically correct? If yes, let me know in the comment section. If no, let me know what should be the correction in the comment section. About me, I'm Anupam Mishra and I'm Lucknow alumnus. The rest of the details about my profile and credentials you can watch in this video which I've made. I've talked about my profile in detail there. And if you can also go on and watch the next video in this series. Thank you for your time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a ton.